Hey, what's up, guys? Got Slop with me today. We are going to start a little bit of I guess, what do we want to call it, Slop? We're going to start a documentary series or a series
I've
here.
always wanted to be in a documentary.
So we're going to document our lives Monday through Friday at OddsJam. But no, what this is going to be is basically we are going to walk through OddsJam. You know, this is set up for anybody who's new to OddsJam, or maybe you are a current subscriber with OddsJam. And we're basically just going to walk through the platform, show you kind of all the ins and outs. This is definitely meant to be interactive, so feel free if you have questions, throw them in the chat. I'm just going to start out here. We're going to jump onto the website. We're going to walk through all of the tools. I do a lot of these customer calls, individually. Got a couple of other guys that do some as well. Slop's on the content side of things, but he's agreed to join me. So we're going to just kind of run through a customer call here, if you will. Any questions, again, that you have, throw them in the chat. Be happy to answer those for you. So I guess the first thing, and Slop, you probably know all about this, especially with Massachusetts just going live. Having every sports book is essential. No?
I don't know how people do it. Like, I got buddies that were like, yeah, I'm a DraftKings guy. And it's like, bro, that's not a thing. That's not like a thing at all. Like you have to get all of them.
Yeah, every sports book is a must. And, like I said, that is the very first thing on these customer calls. My question is, what state are you in? What sports books are you using? And then we go from there. So the main page on OddsJam that I always direct to people is this resources tab. It's the promotions tab. It shows every single book that's in your state. So I'm in Illinois, have quite a few sports books available, as well as the player prop apps. All of these books are giving you free money to sign up. So if you come here, you can sign up for Caesars. You can use code OddsJamFull to sign up. You're going to get a risk-free $1,250 bet. So take advantage of these. You need every sports book really to be successful with OddsJam and all of the tools that we have. So make sure to check out this page. It's actually in the description below. So check that out. Sign up for any of these books that you don't have. Player prop apps are definitely becoming more popular. Underdog, Parlay Play, a couple of those. Thrive Fantasy, Sleeper, Jock Market, very, very popular player prop apps that you can use on the Fantasy Optimizer, which I will just go ahead and jump right into. So you can see here with the Fantasy Optimizer, we are going to show you all of the player prop books that we have on OddsJam, and we're going to show you where the value is. So you can see all of these plays that are in green. These are the top plays for Prize Picks right now that are out there. Yellow plays, a little bit of value. And basically what we're doing is we are looking at the Prize Picks line for a 5 or a 6 pick flex entry where the odds are -119. And we are showing you what the OddsJam algo odds are. If you have a question, want to know what those are, that's a combination of all of the sharp sports books on OddsJam. We compile all of those together. We come up with a fair line or a true line. And so for this UFC fight, over 2 rounds is the Prize Pick line, or the line is 2. We're telling you to take the over, the OddsJam algo odds, -130. You can get that on Prize Picks at -119 in a 5 or a 6 pick flex. Get this asked a lot. Can I use these entries in a 2-man flex or in a 2-man power on Prize Picks? The answer is no. You can see when I change this, the odds become -136. So these are not actually profitable plays for a 2-man entry. It's all based on the math and the payouts of what a 5 or a 6 pick flex will actually pay you out when you are putting those entries together. So you definitely want to make sure you have this set on the right entry, whatever level you're looking for. And you want to make sure if you're on 6-man flex, you want to put a 6-man flex together. So Slop, you guys have Prize Picks. You got that in Massachusetts as well?
Dude, I've got too many of these, man. It like makes my head spin. I got Jock Market. That was my favorite one. Prize Picks I like that one. I like Underdog too. I hate to say one's my favorite. I like Underdog too because you can do 3-man. And like, you win a few more of those. You know what I'm saying? Like I get like the whole idea of winning more money less times, which is how you do it with Prize Picks and all that. But Underdog, I'll be honest, I like it. I like it just because, like I said, you can just do a 3-man in there and bombs away. But there's just I got Sleeper. I got all of them.
Yeah. So as we mentioned earlier, every single one of these, you need to take advantage of those. You can do that again under the resources tab there and under promotions. Another thing I get asked a lot is, can I travel to other states and take advantage of those sports books? You absolutely can. You can come here to the Legalization Tracker on OddsJam. Let's say you are traveling to Arizona. You can see all of the sports books that Arizona has, as well as the sign-up bonuses. So for me, I've been to Arizona. I've already taken advantage of these, but WinBet is not a book that is in Illinois, so I was able to take advantage of that while I was out there. So if you're traveling across the United States, I've talked to several people who drive around taking advantage of these bonuses. So you can definitely do that. A state like Colorado probably has more books than any state. You can just see all of these sign-up bonuses that are out in Colorado. A lot of books that are not in any of the other states as well. So definitely be sure to check that out. The description for the bonuses is in the link for the bonuses is in the description below. So check that out. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, Randall@oddsjam.com. Happy to walk you through how to take advantage of those. So that's the optimizer there. I'm going to jump over to the Sportsbook tab. We're just going to go through all of these tools. Slop, feel free to throw anything in here that you see. If you see I know you're big on the dingers, so if you see a home run here that you like that's on the EV page, let us know, and we can all jump on that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to show the Illinois sports books and all of the value that's here. So as I just mentioned, player home runs. Everybody loves to bet those. This page is great for Dinger Tuesday. You can come here. You can find all of the value on the EV page. One thing I get asked quite a bit, Slop, you maybe do as well. What is EV betting? EV betting is basically we are determining what the fair odds are for a given market, for a given bet. And then we are showing you what those odds should be. So we can see here for tonight, Christian Walker over a half a home run. So yes, no, is he going to hit a home run? Fair odds are plus 392. You're getting plus 460 on FanDuel. So you're getting, almost 13% here expected value on this play. So again, if you were looking to do Dinger Tuesday, this is a great tool to find player home runs and one where, again, you can find value on every single one of these plays that you're looking at. So one thing, when you start OddsJam, when you get on OddsJam for the very first time, you are going to be shown the recommended filters. That's going to be the standard. These are the best bets that are out there all throughout the day based on historical data and back testing that we've done with Pinnacle and other sharp sports books. So Slop, I know before we came on here, we were talking about college football and NFL is starting soon. We've got a few college football plays here popping up. Massachusetts, how about that? UMass plus 7.5.
Wait, dude, I cannot wait. You don't know how excited that gets me to see like a football play on here. Nothing against baseball, big Dinger guy, but man, there is nothing like football, especially college football season. So I can't wait.
Yeah,
what about UMass?
Yeah, UMass. So speaking of that, UMass on the recommended filters page. So if you're If you're on here, UMass +7.5, +102 on Bet Rivers has some value. So, again, as we're going through this stream, feel free to throw in some questions. I see one here right now. I'll get to it here in just a second. But feel free to throw those questions in there. So again, back to when you start OddsJam, you're going to start with the recommended filters on. This is what we suggest, basically taking as many of these plays from the recommended filters page as you can. With EV betting, volume is key. So I get asked a lot, how many plays should I bet per day? I would say that most of our power users on OddsJam, the ones who are making the most money, definitely somewhere between 30 and 50 a day. I like to think of it as flipping a coin. So Slop, if you and I were going to flip a coin, 52% chance to land on heads, 48% chance to land on tails. If I told you we're going to flip this coin 10 times, you'd probably still take heads. But I would be open to taking tails because I know in 10 flips, I might be able to get tails 5 times and it goes 5 and 5. But over the course of, let's say, 1,000 bets or 1,000 flips in this instance, that's going to play itself out. So the side that's heads, 52%, is going to play itself out over, more flips. So if we were doing that, I would definitely not want to flip that coin with you 1,000 times because you would smoke me in that little event there.
I think they call that a sample size, Randall.
You are correct.
On the streets, they call that sample size.
You are correct. That is a sample size. So you can definitely, EV, again, all about volume. We have an article on OddsJam. I'll actually just go to it here very quickly so that I can show you guys. We kind of break this down. If you just do a Google search, variance and OddsJam, you can see here. I like to explain this to customers after roughly 250 bets. So we're back to 250 bets. Let's say 50% of those beat the closing line. And so by beat the closing line, I mean, you got a better number than what the line closed at. So if you took a bet at +115 and it closed at +110, that would be considered beating the closing line. So if you do that 250 times and 125 of those times you beat the closing line, your chances of profiting are right around 71%. Now, back to what you said, sample size, if we do that 1,000 times and 500 of those end up beating the closing line, again, that 52% number, 52.48, you can see that number jumps dramatically. It's 89%. So after 1,000 bets, 89% likelihood of profiting with EV betting. So again, as you bet more, the chances of you profiting again become higher. So jump back over to the EV page. A couple of other things in my notes here. What are the no vig odds? Again, I explained this earlier. These are the true probability of what the expected outcome is. So we use a variety of sharp sports books to determine this line. And anytime you see value, Rangers under 2.5 team total at -123 for the no vig odds, basically -124, you can get that at -105. So this would be a great bet, mathematically speaking, compared to the no vig odds. You'll also notice the market width here. When I turn the recommended filters on, we'll go back to the other page here in just a second. But when I turn that on, you'll notice that this number got significantly smaller. Whereas when I turn this off, we were seeing some very high numbers with those player home runs. So what is market width? That's definitely a question that I get a lot. And it's basically the confidence that the books have in the number or in the odds that they have set. So the wider this number is, the less confident the books are in the number that's been set. And obviously that makes sense with player home runs.
Randall, that's why I love that market, Randall. That's why I love it. They how can they price it? Look at Varsho on top there.
Yep.
Other books, I mean, if you look at the other books, I mean, you got some of them 350. That's it. Like, I've been watching that all day. I was like, dude, like 560, and then you got like the throws at 380 somewhere, 350. Like,
380 at Barstool, 360 at MGM, 330 at Caesars. Yep.
That is crazy. And that's another reason, just like we just said, you better have all the books. Imagine watching this game, you and your buddy, right? Me and you are going to sit down, and I took it at FanDuel, and you took it at BetMGM, and we're sitting watching the game. We have the same bet, but that's two way different bets.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say, just for math purposes, $100, on that bet, you're making what? 180 more by betting it at FanDuel. So yeah, huge discrepancies there. And yeah, like you mentioned, fair odds for this are plus 427. So that's what this line technically should be. You are getting plus 540. Now, again, this was something else that Slop and I talked about off air, and I'll mention it while we're on here now. Obviously, these plays with player home runs, there's probably going to be a lot of variance. Telling us that, Varsho didn't hit a home run after the game's over, maybe not much of a surprise. But at the end of the day, you got great value, with that bet from FanDuel as opposed to plus 360 on MGM or even plus 330 on Caesars. So definitely important to have all of the books. And again, kind of back to market with, like you said, the books have no idea what to line these. So that's why these markets are so wide. But on markets that books do know how to line, if you were to turn off your recommended filters, you set your maximum width to 40. This is going to show you, again, a lot fewer plays. We still have 55 plays that we can choose from. But what this is this is showing you action where the books have taken, pretty good action on both sides, and they're fairly comfortable with the line that's being set. So, in this tennis match that's tomorrow morning, minus 8.5 for Iga here, Swiatek, plus 108 on FanDuel, fair odds plus 100. You can see here the market width is 14 cents. So the lower this number, the more confident the books are in this line that's being set, the more confident that we are in these no vig odds. So definitely some value on that. And again, you can scroll for days here.
Like?
What's that?
Is there a range that you like?
Yeah. So for me, I like to look for anything 40 and below. Now on Dinger Tuesday, I don't set a maximum width. I turn that off and just look for the value there. But yeah, 40 and below is kind of my sweet spot for market width there.
I've been doing on the Dingers, dude, just taking 3 guys and parlaying them.
Yeah.
You find them on that screen right there. You get 3 of them. All 3 hit. You're good for the summer. You just profit for the entire summer.
Yeah.
Every other one.
Yeah. Lose every one, hit one bet, and you are good to go. So absolutely 100%. Let's see here. Adding variance to the line so we can see how in the Vigor, can you email me? Let me put that in the comments here. Randall@oddsjam.com. Shoot me an email of what you're looking for a suggestion there, and I will definitely share that with the engineers. Matt here, very simple. I think you hit it on the head, Slop. Get all of the
I feel like that's a good plan.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Whether you're on the optimizer or the EV page, get all of the books, bet all of the plays in green, and you are going to be good long term. So Colin, as far as bankroll and wagering goes, I notice the EV tool recommends different wagers for different bets. How is this calculated? Also, how can I adjust my bankroll daily to make sure this number is true? So great question there, Colin. So
Colin, nice work, bro.
In terms of the recommended bet size, that is based on the bankroll that you have set along with your Kelly multiplier. And let me just drop in an article here about the Kelly that you can look through when you get a chance. I'll throw this here in the comments, but check this article out. This will go into a lot more detail in terms of your recommended bet size, but it's basing it off of the odds that you're getting in the no vig odds. So that's where that recommended bet size comes from. If you're looking to change that, you can go to your profile on OddsJam, and you can go over here to your bankroll settings, and you can change that to whatever you want. So if you're working with a $5,000 bankroll, you can set it at 5,000. You can set this Kelly multiplier to a half. A half is definitely recommended. The higher you go with that number, the more, of a risk you're taking. So we suggest a half or a half. We do have a lot of users that will set it at 1. Some users even go to 0.25, 0.33. So it's really kind of, what kind of risk tolerance you have. But a half is a good number starting out for the Kelly multiplier there. So gone through quite a bit here on the EV page. I'm going to continue to just go through all of the different betting tools that are on OddsJam. So if you have questions, again, feel free to drop those in there. We'll be happy to answer those, but I'm going to jump through the different tools, just kind of explain those to you, just in case you're not aware what OddsJam has, or what you can actually do with the product as a whole, just outside of EV betting. So we can see here, this is the arbitrage page. This is a way to make risk-free money in sports betting. So if we wanted to look at this Rockies Nationals game, we can see that the over 12.5 is plus 280 on FanDuel, minus 275 on MGM. Let's say we wanted to throw, 275 on MGM, 98 on FanDuel. You're going to make a risk-free $1.32. Now, this is definitely a much smaller ARB here, but you can kind of see the point where you are just making risk-free money. So if you were in, let's say Ontario, for example, you had access to Pinnacle and Bet Rivers, you could bet this essentially risk-free. You could throw, 200 on FanDuel, 241 on Bet Rivers. You're going to make a risk-free $4.59. And I actually, when I started OddsJam, don't know if you know this, Slop, but this was my go-to page. This was actually where I took my $3,000 bankroll and I turned it into 18,000. So 15,000 profit from doing arbitrage betting. Helped build my bankroll up, and then switched fully to EV betting, which is definitely much more lucrative than arbitrage betting. One other thing I wanted to point out here, get asked this a lot as well. What does this mean with parlay play and FanDuel? Obviously, you can't, you obviously cannot ARB parlay play. You have to have more than one pick. But what this means is if you see these player prop apps showing up on the ARB page, it means that they're a profitable leg for an entry. So minus 114, very similar to what we saw on the EV page. You can get minus 114 by taking this pitcher here, Dean Kramer, under 5.5 strikeouts. What's that?
Circle of Trust guy, Dean Kramer.
Is he your go-to guy pitching?
Yeah, he was. He's kind of fallen off. He's still in the Circle of Trust. I still like him, but
okay, still like him a little bit. So you can take him tonight though, and you can fade him. So minus 114 if you parlay that on parlay play. You can see all of the other books are juiced significantly to the under. So anytime you see one of these player prop apps on the ARB page, it's a great play to add to one of those entries. Let's see here real quick. What do I need to do during my trial to make sure I start winning? Are there guides to follow? So we do have a getting started guide that is definitely helpful. I will drop that in the description below here for you. You can check that out. It's definitely a great way to get started. Also, feel free, shoot me an email, randall@oddsjam.com if you have questions. We do one-on-one calls, like I mentioned at the beginning. We've kind of transitioned, or we're not transitioning, but we're offering these streams as well, to where we're going to try to bring in, more people to these, to kind of to reach more people with these live streams and try to make them interactive. So shoot me an email, check out that getting started guide, and we can get you set up. Middles page, this is a very good page come football season. Basically, what the middles page is going to show you are opportunities when you have a chance to middle a play. So, Slop, I know in the NFL, you've probably, well, actually, maybe you haven't, because this is going to be your first season with the NFL, right?
First season with OddsJam, but like Massachusetts went live March last year. So,
yeah,
we missed all of football season.
Yeah, so missed all of football season. So the middles page is great. What you will find, I tell this to customers on the middles page on an NFL Sunday, at about 12 Eastern or so about an hour before kickoff, the middles page just gets a ton of action coming into it. You might be able to take Jonathan Taylor over 68.5 rushing yards at -110 on DraftKings. You might be able to get him. You might be able to get him on FanDuel under 74.5 at +120. So regardless of what happens, you're going to win one of your bets and you're going to win a little bit of money. But if Taylor falls within that 6-yard window, you actually win both bets. So last year, actually on one of the live streams I did on Sunday morning, I took Devin Duvernay. He was over 24.5 yards on PointsBet. He was under 25.5 on FanDuel. Guess how many yards he had, Slop?
25.
25. So it was a 1-yard middle, but he ended up with exactly 25 yards. So that middles page, come time for football, college football, NFL, is a great place to make some risk-free money. So speaking of free, we have our free bet conversion tool. This is where, you've all probably received free bets. Slop, I'm sure you get quite a few free bets from those books.
Not anymore, but I did, man. When we were live, it was just, here it is, Slop, here it is, every day, all the time, always.
Yeah, so speaking to that, these offers are definitely, going, I don't want to say downhill, but they're not as good as they were. So be sure to take advantage of those just as quickly as you can. But let's say, for example, DraftKings, let's say it's a place a $25 parlay, get a free $25 bet. If you wanted to convert that $25 free bet to straight cash, you could do that with this free bet converter tool. So you come here, you select the sportsbook DraftKings. That's where you have your free bet. And right off the bat, we see here, let's say we have a $25 free bet. You can put $230 on Penn State, and you're going to profit $19 no matter what. So if Penn State wins, you're making $19. If West Virginia wins, you're making $19 profit. So either way, you're turning that into risk-free cash. So pretty cool tool there if you get free bets from the books, or you want to turn your free bets into cash. This is definitely not to be confused with the risk-free bets. You do not want to use risk-free bets from this page. This is just for free bets that you get back from the books. And then the last page that I wanted to talk about was the low holds page. And this is a great page if you ever get any of those deposit bonuses. Slop, I'm sure you got several of those when you opened up your accounts in Massachusetts, maybe not so many now. But let's say MGM gives you a $500 deposit match and you have to do a one-time playthrough. You can actually come here to this low holds page and you can look for plays to kind of churn through that $500 deposit match. So let's say, for example, BetMGM gave me $500 free. I've got to bet, 500 at least once. If I do that here on this under 9 at -120, and I throw 426 on Caesars, I'm going to lose $9, basically $10. But I also profited 490 from the deposit. So this is a great place to help churn through those bonuses. It's also a great place, for like a bet and get, very similar to what I mentioned about DraftKings earlier. DraftKings may have something where, bet $50 will give you a free $25 bet. So if I came here, I bet 50 on the Chiefs, 33 on the Bengals. I am going, of course, this game's in December, so maybe not do that, but something a little bit closer. You're going to lose 91 cents, but I'm going to get, a $25 free bet. So this is a great tool to churn through that and find, low hold opportunities to be able to take advantage of some of those offers that the books have. So Slop, anything to add there?
No, I mean it's key because that's how they get you the books. I mean, they're going to give you that free bet, but you got to churn through it though. It's not just cash. So a lot of times you're going to lose. You know what I mean? You have a chance of losing that money. So if you do it like this, you're going to guarantee that you actually get that as cash. So it's huge.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just as you said, if you want to take a risk. Let those plays fly on an EV bet. If you want to be a little less riskier, not take as much of a risk, come here to the low holds page, rip through those, and make guaranteed cash. So let's see here, William. Is it recommended to take high edge bets if I have a smaller bankroll, even if they're player props at higher odds like plus 250? So great question, William. My suggestion would be. Definitely work with the recommended filters page on. So if you see something that's plus 250 on the recommended filters, you probably won't, but if you do, would definitely be comfortable taking that. If you are working with the recommended filters off, again, my only kind of setting that I set is a maximum width of 40. So if you do see something that's plus 250, and it has lower than a 40 cents of market width, you can definitely take it. It's probably a pretty efficient market. But if it's a player prop, I mean, like the home runs that we were looking at earlier, those are plays that, if you're looking to put together a dinger parlay like Slop loves to do, or if you're looking to just take advantage of Dinger Tuesday, definitely something you can do. But I would just follow the recommended bet sizes again that you've set based on your bankroll and based on the multiplier that you have set.
I mean, what he said. I mean, if it's a smaller bankroll and you're trying to build, I mean, the idea of something plus 250 or higher in a market width that's massive. You're trying to catch lightning in a bottle. You're just trying to the book is rolling the dice. So you're like, you know what? I'll bet into you on this one because you don't know what you're doing either. Because you can't. Because the general nature, like you said, of a home run is it either it does or it doesn't, and no one knows when that's going to happen. But yeah, if you have a smaller bankroll, you're looking to build up, dude. It's 40 or lower. Stick in those markets. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, 100%. And, if you're working with a small bankroll, I mean, definitely, I think the most important thing, I mean, especially if you haven't taken advantage of all the bonuses. I know I've said that numerous times on this stream, but it is the easiest way to build a bankroll. I mean, you can theoretically.
Really?
What's that?
Would you say arb out in the beginning just to get your feet wet? Arb that just because that's how you start grinding. Because this does turn into a grind. Well, if you're arbing, that's definitely a grind. Well, guess what? Now it's going to get used. You're going to get used to it. You're going to start building a bankroll, and now you're going to move into positive EV. To me, that's like the path.
Yeah.
If you're new. Especially if you're getting all these bonuses because it's a new state. Take the promos, arb, do whatever you got to do with the low hold page, then work your way to positive EV.
Yep, 100%.
If you're not experienced.
Yep. Start out, build your bankroll up, and then shift into EV betting. Corey, good question here. Slop, I'll let you weigh in on this as well. Bet sizes for parlays. I mean, personally, for me, typically, a quarter of a unit to a half a unit. Probably, I would say, depending on the odds. I mean, 1 unit being a max for me. Never put more than 1 unit on a parlay. But Slop, feel free to weigh in kind of on what you do with parlays because I know you love to bet them.
You know what's funny? I actually hate parlays. The only parlays that I like are the lightning in a bottle, $5 get you 800 on a market that cannot be accurately priced.
There you go.
And there's not many markets like that other than home runs. even anytime touchdown scores in football, like that's still they can still price that, but not like home runs. So I do literally not even I'd say 5% of my bankroll. So it's basically a 0.05 unit on a parlay, just because they're just not. I don't know. For me, I'm not really a parlay guy. Like I'll take a shot deep, like I said, on a home run. But like you'll see me once you get into football season and basketball season, they are all 0.5 unit, or I'm sorry, 0.05 unit lottos. On markets that aren't really efficiently priced, and you're just hoping to get lucky. You're basically putting yourself in a position to get lucky. I'm sorry, that's what you're really doing right there.
Yeah, no, putting yourself in position to get lucky with, obviously plays that have an edge, especially if you're finding them, here from the EV page. I always tell people with parlays, I think this is a good kind of analogy. If you like lottery tickets, I personally don't, but if you're going to go buy a lottery ticket, what's the most you would spend on a lottery ticket? I mean, for some, it's probably more than maybe they should, or maybe what you would put on a parlay, but that's basically what you're doing. You're building a lottery ticket. So if you're comfortable going into the gas station, buying a $5 scratch off, throw $5 on a parlay and see what you can do. But they're definitely, it's easy to, glamorize all the big hit parlays that are on Twitter that you see. And no, those are few and far between. So just keep that in mind. That is not a way to build your bankroll by trying to hit one of those, like you said, because you could lose every single one of them, hit one, and you're good. So
the odds are you are going to lose every single one of them. That's why I'm saying you got to go into markets that literally are coin flips, because those are the ones that, like I said, my unit's $100. It's been like that for years. I'm comfortable with that. I have fun watching the games. I'll bet $5 on my 3-leg parlays.
Right.
Like every now, like you'll see me do 10s. I'm back down to 5. It's 5. It's $5. I found that's my move right there, and I'm not going to miss it. But like I said, those are not the home run ones are not that crazy to see hit. But again, they're going to go 0 for 3 so many more times than you'll ever hit one. Like it's
exactly. A lot of variance in a home run prop for sure. So. Good question here. Is it better to take 30 plays that are 1 to 2% EV or plays that are all 5 to 6% EV? I think you could make a case for both. Me personally, it's a volume game. Like we talked about earlier, just going to jump back over here to this screen here where, you're looking to get the edge. So if I had to answer this question one way or the other, I would definitely prefer to take 30 plays that are 1 to 2% EV.
I'm going 30.
You're going to get that volume much quicker, and not going to potentially experience as much variance. And at the end of the day, if you have the edge, you want to bet into that edge as many times as you can. Like I said with the coin analogy earlier, if we're going to flip a coin 10 times, like I'll flip a coin with Slop 10 times. Maybe we do that on air one time, Slop.
Yeah.
I'll flip a coin with you 10 times, and we can do.
If I got the edge, I want to flip it 100 times.
Yeah, I mean we can do it. We can flip it 10 times, and $5 each way. And if the coin has a 52% chance of landing on heads, I'll take my chances over 10 flips. But if we're going to do it 1,000, there's no way I'm playing that game with you. So definitely volume being key there. So definitely better to take 30 plays than 10 plays. So again, keep the questions coming if you guys have anything. Just got a couple more things that I'm going to go over, and we're going to wrap this live stream up. We will be back on Thursday, same time, same place. So if you want to come back, hopefully we get some new people here that are trialing OddsJam. If you haven't started a trial of OddsJam, you can do that. OddsJam.com/subscribe. Get a trial of any of these plans. Come back to a live stream. Schedule a call. Email me. Whatever is easiest for you. Happy to help you out. So, I guess one last thing that I had here, and this is again, I preach volume, and I preach sportsbook bonuses, because I would say those are the two most important things to be successful with OddsJam. Oftentimes, I get asked, why am I down after my first 3 days? And my question is to them simply, how many bets have you placed? Oftentimes they might say, I've only placed, 15 bets. And so again, back to this variance article, 15 bets. I mean, you can see 250 bets, we have a 71% chance of profiting. So if we wanted to go back and do the math on that, if we only placed 15 and let's say 8 of them were successful in beating the closing line, that percentage is probably going to be well under 50%, probably well under 40%. So meaning there's a 70% chance that you aren't profitable after 15 plays, just to use that as an example. So just wanted to touch on that. Again, variance is definitely important to understand. You may or may not be profitable in your first week, but if you stick with it, trust the math, beat the closing line, you will definitely be fine long term. One last thing that I wanted to point out, because this comes up a lot as well, is let's say, for example, that I'm going to bet this. I'm going to bet Christian Walker to hit a home run in this game. So with OddsJam, we've made it very simple. You can click the plus sign here. It will automatically fill the recommended bet size. You can save it. This is actually going to go over into your bet tracker. So if I click my bet tracker, I go into the bet tracker page here, you will see where I just placed that bet. Now, what I want to point out is on the EV page, what we do, if this will work, there we go, is it is now showing you this yellow sign, this yellow caution sign. And what this means is this is telling me that, hey, you've placed a bet on this game. So one thing that's very important, and I would say maybe more so in basketball and football, but these yellow caution signs and this red one here, this means that I've either placed a bet on the over or on the under. Yellow just means that, I've already placed a bet in this particular game. So definitely pay attention to these signs. They're very helpful. I'm not saying that, if you bet Christian Walker to bet, or if you bet Christian Walker to hit over a half a home run, that you shouldn't bet him to hit over, or get over 1.5 hits. But if he doesn't get over 1.5 hits, better chance that he doesn't hit a home run. So definitely pay attention to these. I see a lot of people, betting on all 9 guys, however many, 9 guys in baseball, but maybe they've got 6 of them on the same team to get a hit. So if that pitcher is really dialed in that night, you've put all of your eggs in one basket. So pay attention to these caution signs. They're very, very helpful. Obviously if I take, let's say Adam Wainwright over 5.5 strikeouts, Cardinals minus 1.5 might be a good bet. There's some positive correlation to Wainwright having over 5.5 strikeouts, and then obviously the Cardinals winning the game. So Jared here, let's get some prize picks going. Jared, if you look here, Optimizer, I'll hop over here real quick before we jump. Here's some plays here for prize picks, quite a bit of esports. You can change all of your settings here. So if you just want to look at baseball, you can select that. So now I'm only showing, baseball plays on the Optimizer. Here's 5 plays, 3 that are in green, 2 that are in yellow. But you can change all of that if you want to see, baseball and MMA. We'll show you baseball and MMA. So you have the ability to adjust these filters to whatever it is you're looking for. So you can see there you go, Jared, right there. Here is a 6-pick entry that should have expected value. You can add all of these to your bet tracker. So if we just click these, let's say I'm going to put this together in a 6-pick flex on Prize Picks, we can see that the EV percentage is about 7.8%. Again, it only has a 2.78% chance of hitting, but it's a numbers game. We have the edge in all of these plays. So 25 times payout on this, we might lose 10 in a row before we hit one. But back to kind of Slop earlier with the home runs, you win one, you're kind of set for quite a while, especially with this. So there's some plays for you there. And then one more question: is EV or chance to hit more important? I would say that the expected value is more important than the chance to hit, although really both of these, I would not say that either one of them I pay much attention to. I'm just looking for anything that's under 40 cents of width, and I'm trying to get as many of these plays that I can that are under 40 cents on this EV page. So a lot of what you're going to take from the EV page is going to be plus money. And with that, you don't have to win at a 56% chance, or 56% to be profitable. You could be 45%, win percentage, and you're still going to profit long-term with EV betting. So just wanted to go over these tools, guys. We'll continue to do these. Hopefully you found it useful. Enjoyed seeing the tools in action. Slop, I know maybe you learned a few things today.
Oh yeah.
And we'll continue to dial these live streams in. And as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free, email me, Randall@oddsjam.com. I just posted that in the chat again. But again, make sure, check out all of the sportsbook bonuses in your state. If you're unsure how to take advantage of them, can definitely walk you through that process. So appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back on Thursday at 4 Eastern, same time. Slop, I will see you later on in the week.
Later, brother. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
I love these things, to be honest with you, man. I could do this all day.
Hey, well, we're gonna do it twice a week, so I'll fulfill your request at least twice a week.
Sweet.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you later.